Hello, everybody. It's Sunday night. I'm Servet Hassan. The name of the show is Intuitive Inc. And welcome. It's almost 4th of July and time for fireworks, and people are doing a long holiday weekend because it's Tuesday and it's only Sunday, and many celebrations going on. So anyway, I thought we'd take some time tonight to talk about creating our own fireworks within ourselves that can ignite a spark to take us to our true spiritual freedom, which is finding that purpose within ourselves and then moving forward into that. And I had a really great guest lined up here called the Monk Dude, and he's really called that. He really is a monk too. His real, I don't know if this is his real name or not, but his other name is Dada Nabhaniilananda. And I think I did that justice. However, he's not on the line. So we thought we would have him here now, and he's not. And you know, when you do things live, these things happen. And we were going to talk about, well, he's a monk. I'm hoping he still calls in, that it just hits him like telepathically, like call. You monk dude? Monk dude? Hey, dude, wake up, call. Okay, that's not working. So here we have instead a cell phone, and I do have a backup number for him, which I normally would do a few minutes before, but I couldn't. It was hard to find because he was sort of last minute, and it's hard to get him. And so I'm very honored to have him if we actually have him. And like I said, he's no joke. He's won all kinds of songwriting awards. He's recorded 8 albums. He's performed and spoken in over 80 countries on the planet Earth, maybe other planets. I don't know. We'll have to ask him about that. Anyway, he's also there were 10,000 people on stage with him, including the Dalai Lama was there at the Rio Earth Summit where he performed and spoke. He's an amazing guy. So we really do want to get him on the line. So I am going to attempt to call him while we have been chatting about him. I am also dialing his number because I see he has not called in, but and we are live and our hour is ticking away. So we're just going to hope that it's ringing. That's a good sign. And here we go. 4th of July, it's holiday weekend. People are a little messed up because we forget. A lot of people aren't working tomorrow. A lot of people are off. Hello? Oh, it's still ringing. We said hello too soon. Dada. Monk dude. Monk dude. Monk dude. Tune in. I hope nothing. Oh dear. It's going to voicemail. So hopefully. I hope you can't hear that number, but if you can't. I'm going to leave a message, and then I am going to send. Hello, it's Servet Hassan. We are live on the air. I'm waiting for your call to call in 949-313-8880. We haven't heard from you, and we are live. Like I said, it's 6:04 p.m. on a Sunday night. July 2nd, and I've introduced you, and we're trying to get you on the line. So please call in 949-313-8880. We can do this. Like I said, it's live, so even if you call in now or soon, that would be great. I will also try sending you an email, so we will do that as well. Hopefully you'll get this message before 7 when the show's over, or if you don't call in, there won't be a show. So anyway, okay, take care. Bye. Okay, I just sent him a confirmation. So I really didn't think he wouldn't call, or I would have been a little bit more. So I also get really concerned because, like I said, I just sent a confirmation. So I would think he would be on it. So let's see, what can we talk about? Well, we were going to talk about meditation. He's a meditation teacher too. So, and his book. His last book, Closure, or one of his books, it's on meditation called Close Your Eyes and Open Your Mind, has been translated in 11 different languages, and it's used as sort of a standard text for people who teach meditation. So we were going to get into that. And also he's doing a corporate series right now where he's teaching corporations how to use creativity, because creativity is the wave of it's how innovation is how we're going to innovate in the future. So it's the future of innovation is what I'm trying to say. I'm also trying to type while I talk, which is never easy. So if he never calls in, then this will never go up on YouTube, and nobody will hear this except the people that are tuning in live. And you know what? If he doesn't, I'll call in. I will just take calls from callers, or if I don't get that, then we just will call it a day and we'll start again next week. We have a great show next week too. So I'm just going to leave the number, and that he's supposed to call if he's out there listening, 949 313 8880. Maybe he'll hear that telepathically. So maybe, I don't know. I don't know. This is really hard to do when you have to carry a whole show yourself, but meditation is so important. It's I really honestly, I hope nothing happened to him. We're going to go ahead and send this email, which I just did sending, says live on air. Where are you? Waiting for your call. It's 6:07. We will give it a few minutes. If there's anybody out there, I mean, really, we've gone 7 minutes into the show already, and all I've done is babble. So, but I did want to, honestly, truly, I hope nothing happened to him. But also, too, I will, if something did, which I hope not, but if it's even just a human error, because we all have those moments, like I said, where our brain blips, but especially on a holiday weekend, which is like, it's kind of funky this year because, for us here in America, because I know this show airs all over the world, but, or in many other countries, but it, is on Tuesday. So people left early on Friday, and then they started the holiday, and a lot of people, most people are not working on Monday. So there goes that. And, you can't really keep track of time when you're doing, he's up in Berkeley too. He actually teaches meditation at UC Berkeley as well. So, you know what? We will hope that a message got through somehow, either through my voicemail on the phone, my, email message. I suppose I could text him too, right? I don't do everything. And then telepathically, we're just sending out thoughts like, call in. But I've done a lot of research. He is, on YouTube. He goes by Monk Dude, actually, and he is a monk, a real Indian monk, and he was going to explain all of that. But he isn't on the line, so he can't. But anyway, I'm going to spell his name because you could look him up on YouTube too. He has some fascinating YouTube videos, and then hopefully we'll have him back. It was kind of funny because I almost didn't do a show tonight because I thought that people are gone and they're in that celebratory mode, and people are just not in their right mind usually. Just and our recorded show is what I was going to do as well. But at the last minute, that person had to cancel because of the holiday and everything else. So then I was kind of stuck because I didn't have any line. Well, I did have somebody lined up for that, but it was so last minute. And then thankfully, Dada Nabhaniilananda was going to fill in. I said his last name. How about that? Say that 3 times fast, huh? Anyway, I'm going to spell it for you. It's Dada and the last name is Nabhanilananda, also known as the Monk Dude. I think if you Google the Monk Dude, he actually comes up. But this hasn't happened in a while, though, either, huh? I think the last time it happened was the guy from the Omega Institute got mixed up as well and wasn't used to doing late Sunday night shows. And we did get him back. We got him back at a different time. Or I think I recorded him. I just got a message from somebody. So let's see. Let's see what happens here. I'm still hoping he calls in. If he doesn't, we know I'm still going to talk for a while because there's a chance that he might. So I just got a text message from a listener who says, I'm interested in your books, so maybe you can talk about one of them, or question, or question. Let's talk about the question. Hello, somebody is calling back here. Hold on, everybody. We are still live. Hello.
Hi, it's Dada.
It's Dada on the phone. Okay, I called you from my cell phone because because I was live on the air. So can you call the studio line and I will plug you in and we'll do our show. A little late, but we'll do it. Okay, so wait.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have the number? It's 949-313-88.
Can I call it from my cell phone?
You can call it from anything you want.
Okay, give me a second. I just want to write it down.
Okay.
Tell me again.
949-313-8880. 8880. Yes, and that's for the listeners out there. I am live, so go ahead and take that and just call in. And for the listeners out there, you can call in to talk to Dada on that line as well later. Go ahead and call us, okay? We're waiting. Thanks. There you go. Look at that. Technology in action. We are in action. So I heard a little baby in the background, I think, or child. So that must be, see crazy things happen on the holidays. And I'm sure he's tied up. And you know what? Just having him on a Sunday night on a holiday, here he is now. Okay, so here we go. Hi there.
Hi, it's Dada.
Hi, good. Thank you so much for calling in. You know, when you're live, strange things happen, but carrying a whole show for an hour by yourself is not easy.
Sure. I'm sorry about this. I got a bit confused by the time difference, and I'm in this conference. There's a lot going on, so I got a little distracted. Sorry.
You know, that's okay too. I really just hoped nothing happened to you. So we reached out.
No, I'm fine.
Yeah, that's
Thank
good.
You.
We're about 13 minutes or so into the show already. So what I did was I babbled endlessly about you. I just went off and told them all the things you've done. I mentioned your book, your meditation book, Close Your Eyes and Open Your Mind, and that you had also won songwriting awards and recorded 8 albums. And I talked about how you've performed and spoken in over 80 countries on this planet and maybe some others, but I didn't know because you weren't on the line. So I think just on Earth, 80 countries, and with the Dalai Lama, which was really interesting. So you know what? I'm thrilled and honored to have you on the line with us today, and thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
I appreciate it. Now, I said your name. I hope I said it right. I've been calling you Dada Nabhaniilananda. Yep. Did I?
That's close. It's
close?
Nabhaniilananda.
Okay, there you go. And I'm not saying it again, so you can.
No, but you were almost spot on. That was pretty good.
You know, that's all my Sanskrit chanting. You know, because we get those kinds of you get those kinds of halanananda, landananda, you know, over and over. Yeah. So it was kind of close to that. So, and you know, my name originally is Sarvat. It's Arabic.
Savati, yeah.
Yeah, and
okay.
Most people can't say it, and I can't say it very well. So I spell it S-E.
Is that Savati?
No, it's not. Actually, when my mother, well, I can't say it. See, so I grew up in London and Montreal and in California. So I spell it S-E-R-V-E-T and I say servette. But when my mother says it, it sounds more like servet. And there's this rolling of the R. So I know all about really hard names because I can't say mine. So. All right. So let's get serious here because we don't have much time and it's going to go. And you've also written a book that I was going to ask about called Dragons Don't Cry, which sounds.
No, it's called Real Dragons Don't Cry.
Real Dragons Don't Cry. What is that about?
It's a comical fantasy novel.
Oh, cool. I did not read. I read your Close Your Eyes and Open Your Mind. I go through things really quickly, and I listen to you on YouTube. But I did not get a chance to get to Real Dragons Don't Cry, but that sounds fascinating. So that's a good thing. Now, how did you come to be called the Monk Dude?
Well, I am a monk.
Yes.
So,
a real monk from India. You were ordained in India, correct?
Yes. I grew up in New Zealand, but when I was 20, I got all inspired to become a yogi and ran off to India to pursue that path. And I studied under an extraordinary spiritual master there. His name was Sri Anandamurti. So I was ordained as a monk in 1979, and I've been in different countries, actually 40 countries, not 80. That is kind of a lot. 80 is a lot.
Oh.
But I've been to 40 different countries.
Okay.
But I was assigned in different parts of the world, and I came to the U.S. about 9 years ago. I've been in California since 2008. And after arriving in California, I'm in Silicon Valley. I live in Los Altos Hills, which is just by Palo Alto, Stanford University, that kind of that area. So, I discovered that America is the land of marketing and branding and all this kind of thing.
Right.
And some of my friends advised me, they said, look, nobody can remember your name. We went back to the name thing, right?
Right.
No one's going to remember the Nabhaniilananda. So you need a brand that people can easily remember, that represents you. So I thought about this. I thought, okay. And then I have a friend who's a really incredible musician. His name's Premack Russell Tubbs. He played with Santana and Whitney Houston and Herbie Hancock. And he's like a really world-class saxophone player. He's a very good friend, and he jokes with me, and he was calling me the Dude Monk. He'd write, hey, Dude Monk, how are you going, And I thought about that, and I thought, okay, maybe if he's an actual dude, this guy is so cool. If he calls me a dude, I guess I'm a dude,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's the real dude. So then I was at some conference, and people were talking about branding. I thought, okay, maybe that's my brand, the Monk Dude. And when I all these people talking about marketing at this conference, and I said, look, I'm thinking of using this brand that's a Monk Dude. They cheered, they loved it. So I thought, okay, that's past the test.
It.
So that became my brand.
There you go. Well, it's easier to say. You're right, because it's hard to remember it's hard to say. It's hard to remember. Now, can people find you under the Monk Dude? If they Google that, will they find you?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, they'll find me under that, and they'll find me under Nabhaniilananda both.
Right. Okay.
And they'll find my YouTube channel, my website, a lot of stuff.
Right. I listened to some of the YouTube stuff today. I was interested because you were talking about creativity. But before we delve into that, let's, and I'm a writer. I've written 3 books myself.
Cool.
For Llewellyn Worldwide. And but before we get to the creativity part, you have to know how to meditate. So let's just talk about meditation quickly. What do you think meditation is? I know what I think it is, but what do you think it is?
Sure. Mm-hmm. So meditation, it can describe different things. So on the one hand, it can describe a state of mind. It could say that so it's something you're trying to achieve. So it's a state of peace and deep self-understanding and compassion and knowledge, and so that's kind of where it's taking you. But the practice is the process that helps you to get there. And so that's a discipline. It's a sitting, in my view, meditation is really sitting down every day, actually twice a day ideally, closing your eyes and concentrating on a particular process. And we usually start people out using a mantra. So they're repeating, you're familiar with this, I'm sure. They're repeating a Sanskrit phrase and contemplating the meaning, the deeper meaning behind it. This would be something to do with, the something expansive. So meditation is a mind expanding practice. That's something that I think really helps to. That for me, that defines meditation. Is it's a mind expanding concentration practice.
Right. Well, one of the most popular Sanskrit mantras is Om Namah Shivaya, I think.
Right.
But because then it just
beautiful.
calms your mind. But also, if you know what it means that you honor the God within you. You honor yourself too. It's a nice.
Yep.
It's a nice phrase. It means more than that, but just in a nutshell. But it really is a good. So, because I know people here, I get people all the time. People say to me, "Well, I just can't quiet my mind. I just can't." And I said, "Well, you're never going to get rid of all your thoughts. The last time I had no thoughts, I was in a coma. So, there's always going to be, it's just a matter of not touching on them, not not engaging them, to let them go and sort of, and when you have a mantra, it's easier because you're focusing on that, or you're focusing on your breath, or you're focusing on something that keeps you from, but I honestly truly believe that you can't achieve any kind of raising of consciousness or real change in your life without meditating. Do you agree with that?
Well, I'm hesitant about absolutes, but I tend to agree with it. Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's. Let's put it this way. I think that meditation is a tremendously valuable and pretty much necessary tool for a human being to really develop and their potential. But why I don't go for absolutes like this is because I don't know, somebody like Nelson Mandela, who was indisputably a great man in my view, he didn't meditate, as far as I know. So I think anything's possible. But
I think his life was a meditation, though.
Well, you could say that. I mean, he was stuck in a jail cell for 25 years, so he was doing something.
Right.
So maybe that was his introversial, very deep learning experience. And so he really came to understand himself very deeply. But I'm not aware that he had a process of meditation that he practiced. I don't know. I don't know that he did. A friend of mine met him, and he loved music. Actually, he my friend gave him. He's a monk like me, and he met with Mandela and gave him a book on meditation, which he politely accepted. But then he gave him a couple of CDs of spiritual chanting, and Mandela kind of pounced on them because he really loves music, and I think that was he was a man of great heart. So I think meditation is pretty much a universally valuable thing for anybody, and can help anybody become their better self.
Right. I have a caller that has texted, not called in, but texted in and said,
Sure.
What is your mantra?
So
I
we
know
have
it's very
different
personal
mantras that we
sometimes.
use.
Yeah.
We have different mantras that we use in our practice. There's a universal mantra that I teach that we chant a lot. In fact, I'm at a conference right now with about 160 yogis, and a lot of us are teachers and monks and nuns. And there's a mantra we've been chanting a lot for the last 5 days, which is Bhavanam Kevalam. That means that all of reality is arising out of an infinite field of universal love, or everything is one, and that there's a benevolence behind this creation. So that's the mantra that we use all the time as a universal mantra. We also teach mantras, personal mantras, which are prescribed, and those, I couldn't tell you that because that's private.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think I wouldn't tell anybody my personal mantra. I use different ones.
There are public mantras and private mantras, so that's one of our public mantras.
Right. And like for me, it's Om Namah Shivaya. That's my public but my private
Right, yeah,
mantras.
that's a beautiful mantra for chanting.
Right.
Yeah.
And there are a few other public ones, but I wouldn't reveal
Sure.
my private one that I use. That was also given to me by the person that ordained me, who was Terry Cole Whitaker, who had studied in India as well, and she ordained me, and she the first thing she told me is, that's your private mantra. You can't. You keep it. You keep that, which I do. So anyway, so what got you? You've recorded a lot of albums too. You've recorded 8 albums. So obviously, this process of meditation, being a monk, even being a writer, it's kind of opened up. You talked about how you were listening to Beethoven, and then suddenly something happened. Yeah,
you've been stalking me.
I do my homework.
My stories.
Even if you're a last minute guest, I really do my homework. I do.
You do.
Yes. So talk about, because this is interesting to me, and people need to, because really honestly, on that level, to create anything, including a life you adore or a life that you love to live, you have to come into that place.
Yeah.
In yourself.
So, I grew up playing music. I started playing piano when I was 4 years old, and I loved it very much. I also loved creative writing. I was into art, so I was fascinated by this idea, or the question, where do ideas come from? And I was writing music from when I was about 11. And so when I first learned meditation, I was learning a piece by Beethoven, a beautiful first sonata. And I remember practicing this, the last 7 chords, actually, of the first movement, and it was so beautiful. I went into this kind of state of ecstasy. And I thought, what's happening to me? This has never happened before when I'm playing the piano. It was really, I got so, I was so overwhelmed. I had to kind of run outside, and I couldn't contain myself. And I reflected on that later, and I thought, wow, this meditation is tapping into something inside me this is a new thing, And I later learned that there's a whole model in the philosophy or psychology of yoga that sort of explains this and says, there are certain practices that do open up or help you to tap into this level of the mind where ideas come from, where inspiration comes from. And it's a repeatable process. And so I've never had a problem with writer's block, or I've never been short of ideas ever since I've been meditating. I just have to, it takes time to sit down and organize them and pick out the good ones and get rid of the crummy ones and put them into a song or a piece of music or an article or a book. That takes time and discipline. But the ideas, I've no shortage.
Right. I understand that place you go. It's almost like getting high. It's a different, it's a different.
It's very like getting. It is getting.
It is getting. Yeah, it is that place you go, and I feel it when I'm in a group. I felt it. I felt it a lot. I feel it when I write. I mean, I know that if I don't get in that place, to stop and then come back, because otherwise I'm using my mental mind, my intelligent mind, which is kind of overthinking everything, and it's just never good. So then I just stop, and then I go back, because I know when I write or when I do anything creative, or even when I want to change something in my life, I have to go to that place where it's not even me anymore, if that makes sense. Do you know?
Sure.
You're not I. There's no I. You're one of a whole, and you're tapping into something else. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think I think that kind of state, or something where you're feeling some flow of inspiration, that you feel this is from beyond me, this is from a deeper part of myself or my intuition. That's when the best ideas tend to come, for sure.
Yes.
And one of the simple techniques I teach to people who want to gain more control, if you like, over their own flow of inspiration, and that is to deliberately separate the two processes of idea generation, which might be the first draft of an article or part of a book or a song, and editing, which is a very different mental process. And you don't want to do both at once. It's like having your foot on the brake and the accelerator at the same time. So the important thing to remember is to separate the two. And you've got the sort of creative mode it's easily suppressed. So when people are over busy and they're in a high pressure job, they often lose their creativity because they're always thinking, they're always under pressure, they're always having to meet deadlines. And you need that kind of open period of time where you don't even have a goal. You're just free to dream up ideas. You're walking in the forest. That's why ideas often come when you're in the shower. The shower is a special place where we have no responsibility.
Right.
And for some people, it's the only time of the day when they're not answerable to anybody.
That's where Einstein got most of his ideas while he was shaving and in the bathtub. That's interesting. I didn't know if you know that. But he was a great proponent of, intuition, the role of intuition in research and discovery, and the role of deliberate imagining and visualization. Right.
So that was a very big part of his process.
Right. His quote was, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." So
right.
It's true. I get that. I do. Now, I want to ask you you said something briefly, and I want to go back to it really quickly if I can. What is the correlation between yoga and meditation? So you talked about that briefly.
So, sure. Yoga means union, and it's talking about the union between, Sanskrit would say, the Jivatman and the Paramatman, the individual soul and the supreme soul, or between the individual and God. So it's a journey of self-discovery and enlightenment to a state of completeness. But this might be a journey of many lifetimes. It's a big undertaking. So yoga is the whole process and lifestyle. It's a philosophy. It's a lifestyle. It includes meditation, and meditation is a major part of it. And it includes the physical yoga exercises that a lot of people think that's all yoga is. That's just one part of it. But it's a whole approach to life and a spiritual path towards enlightenment. So the relationship is that meditation is actually a subset of the overarching spiritual path and philosophy and system of practices of yoga.
Right. I think yoga is a very big umbrella that's
exactly.
how I think of it, because I obviously practice yoga. So, but part of that is meditation.
Me too.
It's not going to Yoga Works and, get your fix on real quick and leave in half an hour. It's a little different than that. So it's kind of...
Yeah, there's a lot more to it than that.
Yes, exactly. So I'm fascinated by the whole creativity in the corporate world, which is where you've been going lately, and something called Bliss Timer, correct?
Okay. Yes. So I've been teaching meditation and creativity and innovation or innovative thinking for companies in Silicon Valley where I live. So this is the hub of the core of the sort of technology world. So they depend on innovation and new ideas and the application of new ideas. That sort of creativity is like generating new ideas, and innovation is kind of applying them in a useful way. But that's the lifeblood of their industry. So they know that they need to innovate if they want to remain or become successful. So they're interested in learning, okay, how do we think more creatively? How do we tap into our own creative process? I was teaching a team of research scientists at a big computer company called Lam Research in November, and they've got to come up with how are they going to create the next generation of computer chips. So they have to explore territory that no one has explored before. They have to come up with completely new ideas, and it's an imaginative process. It's not something where they can sit down and dissect something that's already there. They have to come up with something completely new. So they wanted to develop their intuitive thinking so they can use it in their approach to research. And I've done that with a number of other companies and organizations, like NVIDIA. That's a very big tech company. If you probably find they probably built your computer screen actually.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have certain techniques for that, or do you have certain tips for that you can put in kind of a quick nutshell and like not get into? I mean, just an idea of how you approach. Is it through meditation? Is it you're teaching them mindfulness? You're teaching them meditation. You're teaching them how to tap into that creative part of themselves.
Yeah, I teach them two main methodologies. So one of them is all around meditation. Mm-hmm. And I teach them a mantra-based meditation, and we add visualization and use music and chanting to help them manage their emotions, because one of the things that prevents people from being able to meditate easily is their, disturbance, a deeper disturbance from their emotions. So music helps to smooth that out so that they can go into meditation more easily. And then, so meditation is like the long game. That'll help them to develop their ability to tap into their creative part of their minds more easily over time. And then I teach, the other half of it is I teach a number of kind of quick fixes. Like if they're stuck, and they're frustrated, they can't come up with a new idea, there's a number of different options that they can, different ways they can break out of that. And it can be anything from taking, really thinking about, okay, am I asking the right question? Because often that gives the solution.
Right.
And then we use sleep. I mean, one of the best ways to get the answer to a difficult problem is to sleep on it.
Right.
But you've got to frame the question properly in the beginning. So in the evening, you really think deeply about what is it that I'm trying to understand here. Then you sleep. And then often you'll find that the solution is in your mind in the morning, or you might dream it. Well, so that's a way you can induce that by really thinking deeply about the problem and really trying to understand what it is you're asking first. Right.
And
that's
this
another
works.
Technique.
That works with life in general, because I tell clients all the time, if you have something in your life that's not right, or you have an issue, or you don't know what to do about something, to sleep on it. But the key is to kind of tune in to exactly what you want to know before you fall asleep. Because part of the issue with a lot of people changing is they don't know what they want to change to, or they don't really know what they want to know. Do you know, if you don't know where you want to go, how are you going to get, it's like going to the airport and saying, give me a ticket. Well, hello, where do you want to, and then if you bitch enough, like I can, you might get a ticket, and then you end up somewhere and you go, well, how'd I get here? So you kind of do have to know what you want to ask. And whether it's a computer technical high-tech thing, or simply should I move to Hawaii tomorrow? It's the same. It works with everything. Do you agree?
Yeah, it can be applied to any problem. Sure.
Mm-hmm. Right. So I find that interesting. And do you give them a mantra, or do you help them come up with one?
No, I teach them the universal mantra that I just told you before, Bhavatam Kevalam. We use that, and it's at a certain point, it's an individual thing. If somebody wants to go into meditation more deeply, I might teach them a personal mantra.
Okay. All right. You know what? It's 20 to 7. We're going to end in about 15 minutes. I forgot to open the lines because we started a little late. But if anyone has a question for the monk dude, please call 949-313-8880. I've gotten a couple of questions from listeners via text. But if you're brave enough to actually talk to the monk dude, call in. Because you know what? If you especially, I have a lot of people out there that have questions about meditation. Now's the time to ask them, because this dude, the monk dude, knows what he's talking about. He actually really does know what he's talking about. Are you working on another book?
I am usually working on about 3 books. But I want to just go back to, I didn't actually answer one of your earlier questions. You asked about the Bliss Timer.
Oh, yes, I did. Go ahead.
So the Bliss Timer is a meditation app for smartphones that I'm developing with some of my little team, because I don't know how to create an app. I know how to create the content so that people can use it for meditation, like we've already got a really nice design and really nice music and a really nice sort of little journey that people go through using the app. So we're in the midst of a fundraising campaign to pay some very clever engineers to build it for us. So people can learn about that at the about what it does, and we'll be releasing it in November. They can learn about that at the www.blisstimer.com.
Okay.
So that's something I'm excited about.
It
be able to give to my students. It'll be free.
Good. I was just going to say, is it a free app? It sounds wonderful. Now, do you have your own website too? Is it themonkdude.com?
Yeah, it is indeed.
Well, there you go. What a guess. Themonkdude.com. And what you just mentioned was Bliss Timer, like being in bliss, BLISS timer.com, where you're creating
BLISS.com.
Go ahead.
No, sorry, Bliss, BLISSTIMER.
Oh, I thought that's what I said. Maybe not.
Anyway, that's what it is.
I've been. Oh, we have a caller on the line here. Hold on one second. So here we go.
Sure.
Hello. Hello, are you on the line? Yes? Go ahead.
Hi, my name's Catherine, and I do have a question about meditation.
Go ahead, please.
My question for the monk dude, before I ask that question, I just want to tell you that your conversation, I've been listening tonight, and I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
And my question is, I try to meditate. I think I'm a 90-mile-an-hour person all the time. But sometimes I sit and my mind just bounces off the wall and I try to bring it back. And I was one who texted in about the mantra earlier because I thought if there was something generic that I could do that would really help me focus, I would sure like to know.
Okay, I have a kind of easy answer for you. There are various mantras out there that are like public mantras, like Om Namah Shivaya or Baba Nam Kevalam. If you like either of those or another one, you can go to YouTube, and if you search Baba Nam Kevalam, you'll find about 200-300 musical recordings. And what I suggest is find one you like, listen to it for a while, and use that as a focus for your meditation. So you could listen to the mantra for a while with the music and then do a period of silent meditation. I think you'll find it a lot easier than just trying to go and meditating, focusing on the breath or focusing on a body scan or something, because the music will really help you to put you in the right mood. And then you've kind of handled your emotions and you're free to just follow the mantra internally.
I know you said on YouTube where you go, but could you spell it because I'm not comprehending?
Oh, sure. Okay, it's Baba, that's B-A-B-A, yes. N-A-M, M for Margaret, Kevalam, that's K-E-V-A-L-A-M for Margaret. Baba Nam Kevalam.
Got it.
Okay. The magic words.
Okay, Baba Nam Kevalam.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. You've been very kind, and I really appreciate that information.
Thank you for calling. Thank you for calling, and thank you for listening and enjoying the show. And the only thing I was going to say was, could he spell that where you should go on YouTube? And you already asked that. So it's Baba Nam Kevalam.
Baba Nam, N-A-M, Kevalam, K-E-V-A-L-A-M.
Okay.
I've got it, Baba Nam Kevalam.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for listening and for calling in, and I hope this helped you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Take care. Okay, see, now, Monk Dude, we're kind of wrapping up here, and I could talk for another 6 hours, so...
we've got a lot of you could talk for a long time.
I know. And there's so much to say. I appreciate what you're doing, though, because really, honestly, to raise consciousness in this, it's one person at a time. It's one group at a time. But it really helps to put out the good vibrations and the energy and the whole the whole idea of yoga and meditating and being in that unity space. And I like that you're doing blisstimer.com. I can't wait to see that app. And that I think what it's going to do is help people people like the caller that just called in. It will help her to meditate more efficiently or learn.
Exactly, and it makes it it's something that people can give to their friends, and teachers can give to their students, and it's a simple tool that makes it easy and enjoyable.
Right, exactly. And I think that's going to be awesome, and I can't wait. It's coming out in November, you said, and
the beta version, November is the plan.
Okay, good. Listen, when it's out and up and running, I want you back on the show. Will you do that?
Okay, of course, please. I'd love to do that.
We will have you back on the show, and we will pull it up, and I will have used it. And we can do a little demo, and then
exactly. Everybody can download it. The listeners can download it.
They can download it while we're on the air, and I will do a demo of it on the air live with it as well.
Cool.
I'll try it out ahead of time, but I will definitely love to do a demo live on the air because I think these things are very important. This is the only way we can reach everyone, and this is going to be really important. I believe that's my feeling, because really you change the world one step at a time, and it's about changing ourselves. And anything we can do to help people raise to a different level is important, I think. And so, anyway, and you're doing it. You're doing it through your music. I assume you're still writing music as well, correct?
Oh, yes. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. And your book is, you have several books, but the one that I read was Close Your Eyes and Open Your Mind. And I liked that because it didn't just talk about meditation in a boring, static kind of way. It had stories. It was interesting, So people can get that on your website, I'm sure, or on Amazon.
On my website or exactly. Amazon, my website. It's out there.
Yes, and you're doing amazing things in Silicon Valley. You're changing, you're teaching people to use their creativity. My biggest thing is to have people all three of my books are based on using your intuition to create the life you want, because it's not psychic ability. It's more about your direct connection to a higher source that's never really wrong. And, it's I call intuition a spontaneous reaction of your soul. Just like.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, because you know what? Instinct, which teaches you to blink and breathe without knowing how, is a spontaneous reaction of your body. And to me, intuition is a spontaneous reaction of your soul because you're connecting directly to a higher source, and it's never, ever, ever wrong. It can't be wrong because it knows your path. It knows you. It knows, not, and so I'm not talking about, psychics who read tarot cards or whatever, which there's nothing wrong with that, but they can have room for error. But if you connect to your intuition, it's always right. So I'm a big advocate of that. So I'm glad you're helping people to connect to that as well, because that will guide you and make life so much easier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the other thing
I quite agree.
The other thing I'm really big on is connecting with your authentic self, becoming, who the best you can be, which is about being your authentic true self. And all of that comes about through all of the things that you are teaching, right?
That's the plan.
Yes. So I'll just keep putting words in your mouth and you just keep saying, yeah. No, I love what you're doing. I really do. So we have a plan too where you're going to be back on the show about the Bliss Timer in November, or I'm sure it'll be out in November. I'm not even doubting that.
I'm pretty confident. I've got a really good smart team working on it.
Yes, and I'm very intuitive, so November it is. We're just going to go with that. So, one more is, we're winding up here. So, and Is there anything you want to add? Is there anything you want to talk about that I didn't touch on?
Well, very briefly, you did ask one thing which we didn't touch on. I'll just mention it very briefly. It's my novel. So I wrote a novel called Real Dragons Don't Cry, which is it's something I'd wanted to do ever since I was a kid. Was write a fantasy novel, and it turned out to be a comedy. So it's book one of a planned 5 books. So I've got my work cut out for me. I hope to publish all of them posthumously.
Oh. Wow. That's quite an undertaking. That's a lot. But you know what? I think that when you're called to do something like that, they come out about by themselves anyway. It's almost like you can't not write them, right?
Yeah, it's definitely pushing, these books, they want to escape. They want to get out and breathe and be part of the world.
Well, really quickly, what is Real Dragons Don't Cry about? I know it's a fantasy novel, but does it help enlighten people? I mean, is it someone going on a spiritual journey?
Yeah, it's primarily a story, but because I'm writing it and it's coming out of my mind, all of my values and so forth come through in it automatically. That's kind of inevitable. But it's a story about it. It's kind of around a vegetarian dragon. He just became vegetarian. He's tempted, He wants to kind of eat a few princesses, but he restrains himself. And he's one of the key characters. And then there's an alien that comes, and he's on a mission to where they've got to dive down to the ruins of Atlantis and find the last seed of a magical tree that will kind of transform the earth. Wow.
Okay. I love stories like that. I do. I mean, and there are so many books like that have, who's the author that writes, and they're not fantasy comedies, but Paulo Coelho, you read his books and you learn, something happens to you when you know what I mean? It's like there's something that happens to you anyway. And I could name many other authors. So I'm glad you're doing that and you're working on those as we speak as well, I take it, right?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so we'll just stay in touch. There's plenty.
Hey, thanks so much I'll be very happy to come back and tell everybody about the bliss time we're at when we have it ready in November. Thanks for the invitation.
I absolutely count on that. I've made a note of it. I don't forget those things, and we will still be doing the show in November, and you will have a Bliss Timer app, and I can't wait to use it. So I really thank you for coming on the show. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have fun in Silicon Valley, and take care of yourself.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Talk to you again in a few months.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. Good night. Good night.
Bye-bye. Great
show, guys. It was a really good fun. I'm so glad we connected because for a minute there, you just never know. You're live, you hope. And he came through, and we had some people listening that really got something out of it. He does know what he's doing. I mean, monk dude or not, this guy, again, his name was Dada Nabhaniilananda. Dada Nabhaniilananda. I think probably didn't say it right. He goes by the monk dude, so you can find him at themonkdude.com. But also, I'll spell his name for you. It's Dada. And his last name is Nabhaniilananda. He's a monk, he's a writer, he's a meditation instructor, he's a musician, he knows what he's talking about. He's got blisstimer.com and also themonkdude.com where you can find out anything you need to know that we talked about tonight. I love that he talked about a place where you can go to listen to music, which will help you meditate faster and get you in that space. Pick one that really resonates with you. It'll take you down there faster. When I first started meditating, that was one of the techniques I used. We didn't have the internet then, though. So there I'm dating myself because nobody else will date me. Anyway, no, we didn't have internet really. But I did have, and they weren't even CDs then, they were, cassette tapes of some really cool meditation music and mantras that I would buy and plug those into a portable cassette player that you could listen to the music. And that's when I first started out in my early 20s, actually my late teens, 17, 18, 19 is when I first started. That's how I got there. So life is so much easier. You don't have to go around. I had to go to the Bodhi tree because the Bodhi tree on Melrose in LA was the only place you could find something like that in those days. So now you can just download anything. So go there. It'll really help. I have a really great show next week. I have Janet Connor on. Her book is called Find Your Soul's Purpose. Discover who you are. Remember why you are here. Live a life you love. If you don't know what your purpose is, this will help you find it. It's a really great book. She's done at least 6 other books. I mean, Writing Down Your Soul, The Lotus and the Lily, Soul Vows. She's done quite a few, but this is her latest, Find Your Soul's Purpose. Janet O'Connor, she's great. We're going to have her, and we'll be talking to her live next week. My website is servethassan.com, servethassan.com. Everything you need to know about me is on there. Also, if you want private consultations, my blogs and podcasts, I am setting up, these shows go up on my YouTube channel after they're live later. But I'm also going to set them up as podcasts for some people that can't access them on YouTube or don't want to, that they want them to download them on their phone. So I'll do that as well. No, there hasn't been a blog lately, but there's a reason for that. I'm changing too. I'm shifting directions and looking into a few other things that I'm going to keep to myself, just like my mantra. And just go forward. You'll find out. I will put everything up there. I'm doing some workshops in September and October and traveling. So you'll see me if you want to. And I'll have those up on the website as well. And I'll be talking about them on the show as we go forward. But I think this summer is all about me shifting and changing and going in a direction that I'm being called in to go, which I'm going to run with because it's all about tapping into that intuition, which we just had this really long discussion about with the monk dude. So I had a great time tonight. I really liked him, and I really like all of you, and God bless y'all, and thank you for being with me. And happy, safe, healthy, happy, safe 4th of July. It's a time to remember our independence and our freedom. And so I wanted to call that back into us and just say it's a time for us to remember our own independence, our own freedom, what that took for us to get there. And if we're not there, what it will take to get us there, because we all need to be there, and enjoy that and really embrace that, because again, it's all about being you to the full. Because that's what's really beautiful, being your authentic self and really connecting with who you are. And then you know what? Everything else just flows. So meditate, do your thing. Listen again next week. Thank you for tuning in. I love you all. Take care. Good night.